So, all right. So, on this video, I would like to share specifically the two main things that you have to do as a parent to start the process of homeschooling, and that's what you have decided to do for your children, for your kid. Hi everybody, welcome to Being and Rising. This is my first video on my first new YouTube channel, one and only YouTube channel. So welcome everybody, welcome mamas, papas, conscious beings, beautiful beings everywhere that are going through the homeschooling journey and process, trying to figure it out. This is what fits your flow in your lives, and also your kids, right? Because that's what I think we do, what we do as parents, right? We're thinking about our kids and what's best for them. Also at the same time, this is a channel where I would like to create and grow a community of conscious, not only parents, but just loving beings in general that are going through the deprogramming, reparenting, learning how to unconditionally love, yourselves, and while at the same time rising another human being and honoring the journey that is to be a mom, a mother, a father, family member, someone
a good parent.
A good parent, yes. But it's not about good or bad. It's about learning through the process of wanting to create a better space and overall daily living where not only you, but your kid together can collaborate and co-create learning flow, a daily flow for the two of you. And I call it learning flow because we're both learning throughout the day about many different things. You can call it work if you work from home. They can call it school work. But it's both for both of you. It will be for all of us. I think it's a learning experience. We're learning throughout our experiences throughout the day, right? Learning about ourselves, learning about the community, learning about the world, and so it's a learning flow. It's a learning experience. Especially we're talking about homeschooling, and yes. So this decision has taken me a while. I've always had this in the back of my head since my son started daycare. So it's been years now that he's in second grade. Definitely what's happening right now with the world has pushed me to decide towards this, belief and these longing that I've been, something that I've been having in my heart for years. And it has finally given me that push to, settle. And within these past 6 months, I've done a lot of research here on YouTube, and maybe Instagram as well. But mainly on YouTube, there's a lot of good resources, a lot of other channels that really go in detail and explain other mamas, other papas, other families that are going and that have been going through the same awareness of how they their kids want to learn, right? Because we all have different ways of learning things, and so that's also good to keep in mind as well. Now, this journey of finally deciding and saying I am going to homeschool my soon-to-be 7-year-old kid who's going into second grade, I had gotten really deep into these mental and spiritual process for the past 6 months. So it's been all about going to the New York City Department of Education website, learning and reading, what the whole thing is about for them as the Department of Education. Because I think it's worth mentioning that since I am in New York City, we are a family that lives in New York City. Most of the information that I'm going to be sharing is going to be towards other people that live in New York City. I mean, especially the information that I'm going to be sharing about the initial process for homeschooling. And then, I will also be sharing other things about curriculum and stuff like that I think that will apply for everyone, no matter in what part of the United States you live in. And so it's been a 6-month process of learning and feeling it through and really wrapping my head and my mind around what homeschooling is. And also more than homeschooling is actually unschooling, right? Because we have this thing about unschooling, and so I've been going deep into also what that means. And that's also in another video what that looks like for me, right? Because it's an individual journey. It's a very I think the way we approach homeschooling and the way we approach unschooling it's definitely unique, right? It's something that you have to make fit in your life, right? You don't have to fit to the homeschooling system or the homeschooling mindset. You have to make the homeschooling work for you, for your family, for your kid. So, all right. So, on this video, I would like to share specifically the 2 main things that you have to do as a parent to start the process of homeschooling, and that's what you have decided to do for your children, for your kid. So the 2 main things, right? 2 things. The first thing would be to do your research, right? But that's just like the obvious thing that I think we all sort of like just go to, right? YouTube, YouTube is a great platform for learning a lot of great things. But that's just like on the side, right? On the top of things. And now the two things, one is to send the letter of intention to homeschool your kid to the Department of Education. And then the second thing would be the IHIP form, which is the individualized home instruction plan. I have my paperwork here. So those are the 2 main things: the letter of intent to homeschool your kid, and the IHIP form, which is like what you have already decided to use as the curriculum for your kid. And you will have, if you have more than 1 kid, you will have to send 1 for each kid. And these also go for the letter of intention as well. I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe so. But definitely for the IHIP, for the individualized home instruction plan, definitely 1 per kid, right? And so one of the first steps to, like, if you live in New York City and you're like wondering, okay, so what is the letter of intent? How do I do it? How do I go about it? Where should I send these to, etc. It's actually pretty easy. Once again, you can do your research on your own, which I really encourage everybody to do their own independent research for everything. But you can go to schools.newyorkcity.gov, and And that's pretty much it. And well, you will go on this page and you will scroll down, and it actually shows you step by step about what you have to do. And if you're going through this for the first time, and then you all of a sudden see that there are mandated deadlines to send a letter of intent, and then all of a sudden you see that you should have sent the letter of intent. If you're seeing these now, it's September 2021, and it says that you had, and it's by July of every year that's why those are their guidelines, right? Like of what they think it should be, right? Or when it should be sent. It says July 1st of every year, you will have to submit your letter of intent to the Department of Education. If you want to continue, or if you are new to wanting to homeschool. But that doesn't really apply, in all honesty. And the reason why those dates don't apply is because what I've learned is that if you're already someone that has already decided ahead of time, with lots of months ahead of time, and you're like, yes, for the next year I'm gonna homeschool, and so by July 1st I can send the letter of intention, and then I'll do that, and that's good. I'm right on time. Everything. You are someone that schedules things that way, and someone that already knew beforehand that was the decision that you were going to make for the next school year. Then by all means, send it by July 1st. The letter of intent by July 1st. If you're someone like me, or in the middle of the school year, that you're like, you know what? It has taken me a while to wrap my head around this idea of wanting to homeschool my kids or my kid, but I'm gonna do it, and oh my God, it says July 1st. No, don't worry, you can send it anytime. You can send a letter of intention. You can start homeschooling at any time of the school year. So don't worry about that deadline. And that goes for every other deadline posted here on their website. They have another date for August 15th for the home instruction plan, the IHIP form, and they also have for the 4 quarterly reports that you have to send, because the New York City is within the New York State of Department of homeschooling, where they have all these more strict, if anything, regulations about homeschooling and all the paperwork and things that you have to send them throughout the year. So but don't really worry about those dates. Just you can start any time of the year, like I said, so those dates wouldn't really apply. This is you. So yeah, like I said, the first step will be to send the letter of intent, and you can send it at any point given. And where should you send this letter of intent? That they will tell you here on the website, and you send it to that website. And oh yes, you can do the letter of intent either by doing it on a Word document on your own, where you make sure that you have it will tell you the information that they need to see in that letter of intent, and you can and that's sort of, and then if you do it on a Word file, it will be more personal, and you can word it in any way you want it. But the good thing, or for me, I think it definitely helps to know that you have all the different documents, the templates, they provide those for you on the website. So the letter of intent for that you have to provide for them every year, it's on their website, and they have four, and I think they have it in both in English and Spanish, and as well for the IHIP form and the quarterly reports. So yeah, you can use those templates, and then you don't have to worry about thinking of how you're gonna word out, how you're gonna write it. You can just print out those forms and fill them out and scan them if you want, and send them that, you can, of course, you can write something in the body of the email, a little bit more formal, and then just tell them that you're attaching the letter of intent or the IHIP form or the quarterly report, whatever that is. You're attaching it, whatever you want to write in there, just something short, briefly, nothing fancy, because you're already attaching the template that they're providing to you on their website. So everything will be on that document. So yeah, you can, once you send that first thing, the letter of intention, that looks like this. Actually, when you print it out, it looks like this. I don't know if you can actually see it. But yeah, so it's just one page. And once you send them that paper, the letter of intent to homeschool, then it's usually an automated reply. I think that they just have that. I don't know if it's something that it's happening just now, or I think I heard from another mom on a video. She said that in New York City it's usually like that you have to do everything through email. So if that's the case, then good for us. I think we don't have to worry about going to any offices or anything like that, dealing with any other in-person meetings. So if you have to, I think so far everything's done through email. So send that letter of intent, and after you send that letter of intent, they will send you the automated email reply that will say, oh, if you have sent the letter of intention with all the information required, then pretty much you're officially a homeschooler, and there's nothing else that you have to do. And then it would also tell you now the next step. If you have done that, then the next step will be for you to send us the IHIP form document, the individualized home instruction plan. So I can't show you right now this copy that I have because I already filled. Oh wait, hold on. I do have another copy actually, an empty one, maybe. Okay, so more or less, yes. There's no info here. Just the info of the curriculum this is just a draft. So here is the IHIP form. And it looks like that. It has another page to it. So it's 2 pages. I don't know if you actually are able to see it. I guess I'll figure it out later. Then you have to send them that form within 28 days of already, starting your homeschool year. So you have like 28 days after, I think it counts after you send the letter of intention, 28 days after that, but I think the sooner you do it, the better. So if you just, like I said, do your research beforehand. You can find other platforms as this one here on YouTube or on any other website that you feel you resonate with, that you connect with, and then that will be helpful for you to learn about the curriculum that is out there. There are free curriculum, there are non-expensive curriculum, very expensive curriculum, online curriculum, and there are tons of tools out there that you can use if you do your research. And it's all about once again what fits your needs as a parent that is going to be teaching, you know, one kid or many kids, and also what works best for your kid and children, because it's all about the way they learn the best. So some are more tactile, some are visual kids, some are, you know, we all have different ways of learning, like I already mentioned earlier in the video. So just before, you know, I mean, before sending the IHIP form, right? Before sending the IHIP form, you should already done your research and have, you know, at least had some like something down on a piece of paper or notebook, where, you know, like a journal, whatever you use, of all the research you've done, of all the either websites that you're gonna subscribe to, pay for monthly, or maybe try free curriculums that is out there. There are many free curriculums out there. If that's something that you really need, and it's something that you like after you check it out and you read through it, and something like, you know, that seems like it will work for my son, my daughter, my children, for me to teach. So all of that takes a while. So I will really advise you to do that, and it's going to take a little bit of time. So be patient with yourself, and you will get it done. You will get it done. And also, once again, I will try to share videos about curriculum. Like I said, it took me 6 months to finally, it took me 6 months to wrap my head around the whole thing and finally send a letter of intention. But I will say it took me 2 months to really go every day at night after my kid went to sleep and really try to figure it out about the curriculum, how much it would be, if it fit my mentality, my son's way of learning, and just the vibe of the book, the vibe, the way the writer created the curriculum, or the publishing company, whatever it is. But I just had to feel that I connected with everything, and that everything worked in harmony for me, and that I also learn about the book, so I could get more familiar and be like, okay, this is something that I really want to use in my home and I think it will work and it will be nice, and also within my price range, and that will work for my son and for myself. So like I said, that I think the curriculum is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, thing that you will be spending time on when it comes to homeschooling. And that's something that you will have to do every year. If it maybe something didn't work for 1 year and you want to spice it up, switch it up, then you will have to do more research on that for the following year and see maybe you can get something different, and that's okay. All right, so the video got cut off on this camera right here. So I just want to wrap these up and tell you that on this video, I've covered the main 2 things that you have to do when you have finally made the decision of homeschooling your kid, your children. So the first thing you have to do is send the letter of intent to the Department of Homeschooling. And then the second thing you have to do is send the IHIP form, IHIP, Individualized Home Instruction Plan form, to the Department of Homeschooling. Those are the main 2 things. And also, definitely before you send the IHIP form, you're gonna have to do a lot of research about curriculum, which is probably one of the biggest things you will be focusing on. But you will do it. You will be okay. Be patient. You got this. And thank you again for watching. And please, if you have resonated with everything that I've shared, it will be amazing if you could subscribe. Okay. Thank you again, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.